Hey guys, my name is Rudy, and if you guys know my videos, this is the Arcade 1-Up. Today's topic, where to start. I've had lots of videos on my channel. If you look at my playlist under Arcade 1-Up, you'll see what I've done and how I got there. This is not perfect, but this is kind of get you started on what I did, what you need, and just kind of some basics. So, without further ado, here we go. This is my second machine. This started out as Rampage Cabinet. And what I did is, so you got the original boards. This is the original board that came with it. And I didn't want to drill in it in case I ever wanted to get it back and maybe some value to what they originally built, and I didn't want to mess with that. But this one right here is running off of a Nook. So, this one is a bare basic. I think this is what you need just to get started. The spinner is optional, but you definitely need a joystick. And for the mouse use and stuff like that in this program, you definitely need that. I'm not going to go into the software because there's a guy named ETA Prime that does a much better job than I ever could. But I do want to show you around my machine. Underneath here is a big mess. I got stereo speakers in here. I've got the trackball that's up here. The spinner that's right up here. Various mouse buttons here. This is the trackball down here. And I'll show you the card that I use, the interface card. One thing I learned, label everything. Okay. Sorry for the Blair Witch effect, I'm kind of on my own. I also installed arcade buttons. So for me, the simple play is actually really easy. Put in my money. Hit the start button. And it's just like you were at the arcade, except slightly smaller. The cabinet actually itself is on coasters. Something I also covered in here. Let me kill this so it doesn't. And the interface is actually pretty simple here. This is MAME. This is a graphic MAME. And there's a big list of games in here that you can choose from. Like I said, again, I'm not going to go through them, but there's a lot of them. All your arcade favorites. Anyway, the cabinet, like I said, is on wheels. It's on coasters. And for me, I modified the back door here, where it opens. Okay, so we got the amp right here on the side. Right here is the main graphics card. This is what you had to replace in order to be able to use the original Arcade 1 monitor that came with it. Underneath here, the setup is actually pretty simple. This down here is a Nook. Back there is a USB hard drive, a power strip, and for this cabinet, see here, 2 USB hubs stacked on top of each other. This is a pretty simple solution. The box here, there's really nothing underneath it except for the 2 wires that came out with it. The backboard, it's also very important to make sure that you don't short out this card. As far as hardware, here's what I recommend. I recommend the card on the left, this one here. This is a better card here. I modified mine where you can actually add it's got power for the LED, so you can have some light up buttons. Now, I don't really like light up buttons except for the 1-Up and the start buttons and things like that. And the actual game buttons I left out. If you don't want any light up buttons, this one is a good choice. It's cheaper and works out pretty well as well. Got some lighting options. The only thing that this card doesn't have is it does not have the individual like turbo and all that stuff, which is up here for this cabinet. Rapid fire, auto fire, and all that good stuff. This is a Glenn's retro switch, retro spinner. And like I said, coin buttons and everything. This here is the monster. This is my first attempt, and I wanted to build an arcade machine that actually would cover everything. And like I said, this one is pretty crazy. Now, if you noticed, the one over here, my original Rampage cabinet, is running off Windows 7. Individual MAME packs, you can see them down here. I'll minimize this. I just got a bunch of different names in here, and pinball, that'll be the next video. This one's also going to be able to run the old laser games such as Dragon's Lair and Mad Dog McGee, if you guys remember any of those. So anyway, this is the bigger one. I kind of borrowed this design from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I got more buttons than you need. But the thing is, I wanted to design this for just about every possible scenario, from racing games to two-player, and also both left-handed, right-handed designs. That's kind of the way I designed this. And this one is running Linux. So, just like the other one, I like to have the mouse here, or trackball to use as a mouse. I'm going to fire up a Retropie here. And again, ETA Prime has more on the software stuff. I followed his videos, and that's kind of how I got where I got. The only drawback to this is you still need the keyboard from time to time to escape, and that goes with all of them. Here's my setup. I mean, you can fire up any of your old systems. I mean, Atari, and of course MAME. That's the main reason I'm here. That drove me to build this machine. And you can, so for me, you select it. Oh, sorry, I can't read actually here. Select as A. And here again, you have a huge selection of games. Secured. The connection keeps dropping out here, so sorry about that. And then down here, I built some shelves. Again, all of these are videos that I have on my playlist under Arcade 1UP. Down here is a CD player, and right here are two. One is a backup, and the other one contains all the stuff that we have, all the different games. Those are two hard drives. Power supply next to it. The wiring looks a little scary now. I kind of tried to make it a little bit more pretty, but it's still a long way to go. This is a little bit more messy and definitely more creative. As far as everything else that you might need, you can recycle certain parts. Here is the original Arcade 1UP joystick that I have as a spare. And there's a lot of different types of buttons that you got. These are my favorites. They screw right in, they stay in, and they operate off this little switch. When you're soldering these or when you're connecting these, you can look at, you want to connect this one and the top one. That's what makes it work. This is probably common ground. And just to kind of show you the originals, I also left the Asteroid board original as it was. Well, hey guys, if you have any questions on how you can build your arcade, check out my videos. The purpose of my channel is actually to get people out there and modify their cabinets. You know, you bought your cabinet, you got the 3 or 4 games that came with it, and if you're like me, you know, I would love to have 15 different machines in here, but that's just not going to happen. So what I need is, I needed to condense them out. So one machine would be playing a couple thousand games versus 1 or 2. Anyway, check out my playlist. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Take care.